Today, let's look at how to manage your team on ProLine. So you're going to go up into the menu here, go to Manage Team, and this is the Manage Team area instead of ProLine. What you're going to see up here is the members of your team currently, anyone that you've added to your team, and then you can add new team members here, and then we also have super admin access down here, which is where you can add access for consultants or agencies that you work with. And so let's kind of go through each of these sort of line by line. Let's start up here at the top. So you'll see that this user here at the top has owner next to it. Now the owner is still just an admin, but unlike the other admins in the account, the owner is not cannot be removed from the ProLine account. So even if you have other admins in the account that have full permissions to add or remove anyone they want, they can't remove the owner from that ProLine account. And so that gives the owner special control over the account. The owner can be changed, but that just requires reaching out to support, and we just have to verify that the current owner is approving of that switch being made. So we have owner here, then we have admins, the admins on the account, and then we also have two other permission tiers, manager and basic. And we have this complete breakdown here of what each of these tiers are able to do. Admin can control everything and see everything. Managers are not able to control company-wide settings or any of the campaigns or automations that are set up for a ProLine account, but they are able to see all the projects and contacts in the account, even ones that are not assigned to them. Then lastly, we have basic. This is what you're going to use for most sales reps or other employees in the business, where they're only going to see in ProLine what projects and contacts are assigned specifically to them. There's some exceptions to that, especially around like text messaging if they have a conversation open with a contact already. But other than that, they're restricted on what they're able to see. Now, right here we have primary location. We can change what location this user is associated with. We use this for various different defaults, including for a time zone. We use it for deciding the default for projects that they create in ProLine. Now, if you only have one location in your ProLine account, then this is not a big issue. You would just have it be that one location. But if you are using ProLine in more than one location, then you would want to set that here. Then what we have here, we have the email that's associated with the user. We have their password, but this is going to be hidden. But what you can do is you can send a reset email to reset a user's password if you need to. Now, this is what's going to happen when you have a user that's already set up and set a password for their account. So when you first add a user, they will appear in this list, and it's going to say invited up here in the corner. And when you go to this button, instead of saying send reset email, it'll say resend invite. And so you can, if you add someone to your ProLine account, which we'll go over in a second, and then they're not able to find or they lose track of the invitation to join ProLine, or if it expires, then you can go in and send them a new invite using this button as well. Now down here, we have some important settings. At the admin level, we have the ability to just turn off automated texts and emails for this user. And then we can also forward. So if a user were to go out of town or go on vacation, they can set ProLine up to forward calls to another team member. And also they can send emails as another team member, which is a little bit confusing, but basically if you wanted emails to go out from a single email address in ProLine, rather than having to connect that one email address across all your users, you can select a user on the team that is the email account to use for sending emails during automations. For most users, all of this is going to stay off, but it is there if you need it. Let's go look at basic. If a user is marked at the basic permission tier, then you're going to see a couple other options here. So one is assigning pipelines and one is assigning teammates. Assigning pipelines is really important because if you don't have any pipelines assigned here, that user is not going to be able to see anything on their projects page in ProLine. You need to assign at least a single pipeline to them so that they can see and access that pipeline. So in this case, we have our pipelines here. This matches up with what we see here. And so whatever we want to be visible to this user, we would make sure that is put in here just like that. As far as assigning teammates, as an admin, and we'll kind of go over this a little bit more in a second, but as an admin, I can actually switch in between different users. And so I can view a different user in the account from my account without having to log in as with their username and password. So that gives me a little bit more control and access as an admin. If you would like to allow any of your regular basic users that ability, you can choose if you want them to be able to access another account. The situation where this might come up would be, again, going out of town. Maybe you're the owner, you're going out of town, you want one of your sales reps to be able to answer calls and texts for you while you're away. You can allow them to get to access your ProLine account through their account temporarily. All right, so that pretty much covers all of that. Up here at the top, of course, you can remove users. You do have to transfer some data over to somebody else when you do that. You can also switch their ProLine number with a different account. So if you need to move ProLine numbers around, you're able to do that. The most common use case for that is you're going to add a new user and you want them to get a phone number that's already in your account from another user. In that case, you would just select, you would go to, I don't know if it matters because it's just going to switch them, but if you switch phone numbers between a user that has a number and a user that doesn't have a number, then it will take that number, move it to the user that previously didn't have a number, and then the original user will no longer have a ProLine number. And of course, you'll be able to pick a new number if you want to do that, or you can then proceed to remove that user from your account if you're replacing them with that new user. You can also just remove a ProLine number entirely. So if you want to pick a new ProLine number for some reason for a user, maybe they went in, they picked the wrong area code or something, you want to release that, pick a new one, you can do that through this little icon right there. So now going down to new team member, just like up here, we can change the location. We can just set what that location is right away when we're adding somebody. And then we'll type in their name, their email, and then this is going to be their mobile phone number. Usually this is going to be their personal mobile phone number because whatever device they're accessing the ProLine app on, we use this for making sure the calling functionality works with the ProLine app. And so it's very important that this is the phone number on the device that they'll be using ProLine on. And so you fill out all that and add them. If you do not have enough seats on your plan, since we do charge per seat, then you'll get a little warning that this is going to increase the seats on your account. And so it will automatically increase your seats for you if you need it to. Alrighty, so we can close that. Now coming down to the super admin access, if you do need to invite a consultant or agency owner, they do need to have a super admin account for ProLine already created, and they can reach out to us through the support if they need to create one. It's a free service that we offer to consultants and agencies, and then they'll provide the consultant or agency should provide you with the email address that's associated with their super admin account, and then you can invite them here. You can see in this account we already have the ProLine support super admin that has been invited, and it can be removed at any time. But granting a super admin access, it allows them to manage your account essentially as if they were you, and so they do have access to pretty much everything in your ProLine account, but that you have the ability to remove them at any time, and you're not having to pay for an extra seat for them to have that login. That's a free access that you're able to provide. Alrighty, so that basically covers everything there. We kind of went over switching already, so switching is really useful from a team management perspective. One of the things that's a really useful thing is that includes settings. So as an admin, if I'm trying to get a new user set up and I need to I need to kind of get in here and change some of their settings for them, you can do that. You can actually access the user setting by logging in as them and then navigating to account settings, and that allows me to now actually update the settings for this account specifically. I am viewing that other user's account, not my account settings. So that gives a little extra control to the admin to be able to get things set up, get things working correctly, which is really important. So, all right.